if we look at the claims around, let's look at dementia. Many women, I've spoken to many women who are taking HRT, not because they have terrible symptoms, but because they fear that if they don't take it, they're going to get dementia like their mother or their aunt or their grandmother or something like that, right? And that's the reason why they're taking HRT. There is no conclusive research. I'll say it again, there is no conclusive research that suggests that if you take HRT, you will lower your risk of dementia. Now, what we perhaps should be looking at, we can say, well, but don't more women get dementia than men? Isn't it something to do with their hormones? We should be looking.
Menopause again.
It must be menopause again, right? We should be looking at many other things. First of all, hysterectomies and ovary removal. Huge impact, long-term impact on health. The contraceptive pill. Huge, under-discussed,
I was
long-term.
on it since I was 16. Who knows what impact it has on me?
Well, yes, exactly. And actually, I read many stories of women who enter early menopause much earlier than you. But when you look at their history that they share, there is this intervention of contraceptive pill in their teenage years, right? So we don't know the long-term impact. We don't know the long-term impact of toxic cosmetic products that we use in our hair and on our skin, or toxic cleaning products that women use more often, or of
all the plastic in our brains now.
The plastic in their brains, exactly. And low-fat diets. No one's talking about what is the impact of low-fat diets that women, did more often than men, especially in the 1980s, right? In the 1990s. What's the impact of low-fat diets on women's brains? Artificial sweeteners, all these things that women expose themselves to more than men could have an impact on our brain. But no, we blame menopause and then we tell women, take HRT when there is no research, right? And what we do have, for example, I think one of the strongest pieces of research, although it was an observational study, it included 60,000 women from the Danish study on dementia. And it showed that the more women took HRT, the higher the increase of dementia. And that was an 18-year study over 60,000 women, population of Denmark, who were at midlife. And even then, the researchers concluded they couldn't say if it was the HRT necessarily that led to dementia, or if it was the existence of symptoms that then put women at risk of dementia. Because without a randomized controlled trial, you can't differentiate between the two. But then if we even look at that, we can say, well, isn't it better then that we help women reduce their symptoms in natural ways? Because it could be a risk from living that out of balance lives that create symptoms, or it could be the risk of treating symptoms with HRT. The best solution is for us to come back into balance in a natural way, to rebalance and live a life of harmony.